Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. I just felt like doing another video today, of course. As you can tell, I did get my hair done because I am starting to let my gray hair grow out, so we needed a little bit of a transition, but the curls are actually my natural hair, so it's a little crazy right now because I washed it this morning. Anyways, but yes, I am totally transferring right into the age of wisdom by just not coloring my hair anymore after this. So we'll see how that goes, and if I stick with it, you might have to hold me accountable to it. I don't know. I'm only in my 30s. It was just my birthday, so it's like, but I did have my first gray hair in my 20s, so the wisdom came through very early, to say the least. Anyways, that's not what I want to talk with you about today. I actually want to talk about a topic that came up a couple weeks ago when we went to church and there was a sermon about gentleness. Overall, it was an amazing sermon. Really loved it. Loved the stories. Loved the sentiment. Overall, the context was really great. At the end, though, there was one point where I was like, no. Because if we really want to create a shift and a different understanding in how we relate to each other, we will have to shift this way of thinking as well that I'm going to talk about. At the end of the sermon, it was said that we were supposed to go through some exercises that we are supposed to implement on a daily basis to see how we can be more humble and more gentle in general within our world and how we communicate with each other, right? So one of them was where it said, admit your fault to someone who is below you. And they were talking about work environment. Admit fault, admit mistakes to someone who is below you. And I said, as you may know me by now, I sat in the audience and was like, oh, no, you didn't say that. You did not say that. But I understand where he was coming from, and I could see that he was wrestling with it a little bit himself, because then he added, well, there is hierarchy in businesses, and when you have a job, there are people above you and people below you, and that's just how it is, and if you have problems with it, then you need to get used to it, like something to that sentiment. So I knew he was... when he said it out loud, it probably sounded different to him than when he wrote it out. So, but I want to reflect on that question. So there was nothing really wrong about it or bad about it, but I want to reflect on that a bit more. If we have, in our society, we have created a hierarchy. I always love when people talk about MLMs and how this is a pyramid scheme. I forgot the scheme. Is that how you say it? Probably. Because in the end, our whole society is based on that scheme. Like, this is how we operate. Authoritarian power tells us what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go, how we're supposed to live. We leave some freedom within there, how we can live on a personal level, so that we can claim that we actually have free will. But in the end, if we don't do exactly what is being told, well, there are consequences in either way, right? This is how we work with hierarchy. There are the people on top who tell you what you're supposed to do, and then there are the people that are below you that do what you say. However, what I have noticed within that structure of living, we also are primed to believe that a certain status, a certain job description makes you a lower being. You're not worth as much as the next person. This may not have been the intent with the sermon, of course, most likely not. I know the person, so this is definitely not the case. However, we have to be aware of our words as well, because subconsciously that is creating the mindset of that there are people above me and people below me, and we respond accordingly. What I have noticed from moving to the US in particular, I can really say that about Europe because you live literally 30 minutes away from the next different country who are totally different. But here in the US, what I've noticed is literally you have the ranking of American citizen, white American citizen. Below that are African American citizens. Below that are usually any kind of Latino country citizen, and then below that are immigrants, and then below that are illegal immigrants. I don't know what's below that, but it's just an observation from my own perspective, being an immigrant legally in the U.S. And how people perceive you and come at you. We have the same happening within corporations. There is the person, the CEO, the CFO, whoever else there is at the top, who tells the people below them. If they don't exactly do what you tell them, you get fired. There are consequences. Then below that are usually the maintenance people who often, from my own observation, once again, when I worked in corporate, are being treated like literally the last human. There have been people that literally drop trash in front of them. Well, you're the cleaning lady, so please pick it up instead of taking it to the next trash can. So there are ways how we believe people deserve to be treated according to their status. And that is something we will have to shatter to create more of a collective understanding of unity. Because a human being, the value of each individual does not depend on their job opportunity. It does not depend on how they make money and how much they make money. And as long as we believe and buy into the construct of hierarchy, we will always create division, always, because there are always people that we can push down to make ourselves feel better about ourselves, right? But when we bring everyone on the same plane level, on the same level of understanding of human being, there is no you're below me, you're above me, and we change how we communicate with those people. There is a higher level of respect and how we communicate with each other. So I offer the shift in the way of thinking from hierarchy, my boss is above me, to network. Our whole body works in a network as well. The hand can't work anything without the brain. Maybe the brain has more things to do, but in the end, everything just works together like a network. And if the network is not working, we realize we have challenges with that, right? So the same happens within the family construct. If we believe that our children are beneath us, below us, that if you don't do what I tell you to, or as long as you live under my roof, those kind of thinking is being carried out into the adult world as well. There are people above me who are allowed to tell me what I'm supposed to do, even if it doesn't really align with my own values and truth. Like I said, or if you have heard me probably speak on that many, many times, when it comes to speaking your truth or your values, as long as it is always coming from a place of love and a greater good, then this is the truth that we live within. But as soon as there's something above us that is creating somehow division, or that goes after a specific group of people, then that's just outside of our alignment of values and truth and ethical morals. And sometimes this is hard to break out of, especially when we're already trained and primed as children, that if I don't listen, if I don't obey, then this is going to happen to me. So I better continue that further beyond the youth and child years. But if we understand it as a network, even within the family construct, we can experience our children, no matter how small they are, how big they are, it doesn't matter how old they are, if we experience them as an addition to our soul's journey, that they are here to teach us as well as we are here to teach them, to further their experience in life, and they, for us, to further our soul's journey, then we have a network. We need them as much as they need us to move forward in life, to create the understanding of oneness once again. When we have that mutual respect based on a network, that we're all working together like a well-oiled machine, they're carrying that out into the world as well, even in the workplace, because from that perspective, they see everyone as valued as they are, as respected, no matter the position. And therefore you have an increased sense of compassion toward each other, which from my own experience, once again, I'm a sociologist, is missing. That compassion is missing when we operate from a place of hierarchy instead of network. So I want to really encourage you all who are watching this video to think more from a place of network and how we complement each other, how we are all somehow connected, and here to help further each one of our soul's journey toward the greater understanding of oneness with the divine. That we are all connected, that part of who you are is part of who I am, and part of who I am is part of who you are. I am because you are because I am. And that is from an understanding of network and not hierarchy. So we already have to break it up within the family construct as well as within ourselves, where we have this belief that for society to work or for my family to work, someone has to have that top role to tell me top down what we're all supposed to do, instead of creating leaders within an organization, because each one of us can be a leader if we are also able to follow from a heart, from a place of true love from the heart. The following part is following from the heart, right? So that doesn't mean that we can't have leaders who can't guide, but guide again is different than telling, and guiding is different than ruling or coming from that place of hierarchy. If you don't do, then there is this going to happen. But instead, having open conversation, engaging the network into furthering a common purpose, a purpose that unites not just the family, but also the corporations, the workplace, but then again the communities, the nations, each one of them, and then on a world level. So maybe think about that for the week, instead of thinking about who's below me and who is above me and blah, 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 the way you're thinking. Pay attention to how you operate within your family, how you subconsciously, not even knowing, create the role level with your children or with people that you live with, even with your parents or grandparents, doesn't matter. And then also how you are living that out in the workplace, and how you can shift that by just thinking about, okay, if we are all a network and we all depend on each other, how can I respond and communicate and relate to the person next to me? I hope that gives you a little bit to think about, and I really hope that we can, my goal is to further the understanding of community, and especially raising the level of compassion within our communities and therefore the world. So I think this will shift some of our thinking as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to connect with me online on social media, please just look me up. I am on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. Facebook, it's facebook.com/compassionate coaching, or my personal profile if you want to connect with me. Or if you have any other questions, or if you want to work with me, isabelhunt.com. You're more than welcome to reach out, and I get back to you as soon as possible. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.